Welcome back, everyone, to the TD Garden and Championship Sunday for Massachusetts high school hockey. This is one of our intermittent pop-ups we'll be doing throughout the day. This is the 119 pop-up, and we are between the second and third period of the D4 Boys Championship game with Dover Sherborne leading Hanover 3-1. 3 goals in the second period for Dover Sherborne, and they lead Hanover in their quest for the D4 Championship. We want to review a terrific hockey game that we called earlier on the NFHS network. Brendan Locke is going to go through the goal scoring on most of the goals, and our thanks to Tom Mulhern from the Herald for capturing some of this video during that first game, but it was a wild one. It took 3 overtimes. Brendan, take it away.
Thanks, Paul. We picked this one up early in the second period. Sarah White walks in, picks the puck up at the red line, walks in, unassisted goal, just picks the corner. So 2-1 about 2 minutes into the period, and then middle of the third period to draw level, or no, excuse me, to take the lead. It is Bella Freitas. She had an unbelievable game and took over in the third period. Probably the best player all game. Bella Freitas puts St. Mary's ahead by a score of 4-3, and then with 7.5 seconds remaining, Emma Burke draws level by a score of 4-3, and then there's the overtime winner by Alyssa Norden. St. Mary's, your winner, 5-4 the final in an incredible game, triple overtime, but Norden walks off and gets the winner about 6 minutes into the overtime period. An incredible game that Paul and I were both on, and Paul, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
Yeah, one of the best hockey games we've seen in quite some time. 3 overtimes, some sidebars. The most goals scored in a championship game, 9. That tied a record that St. Mary's was also involved in back in 2010. They won that one 7-2. This was the 6th state title, the 6th state championship for St. Mary's. They hadn't won one since 2017, but this is number 6. They've also played in the most championship games of any girls team. This was their 8th appearance, and the goal scored, as you mentioned, Brendan, by Alyssa Norden for St. Mary's. The winner came at 5:34 of the third overtime. That's the second latest overtime winning goal, topped only by the 2001 score by Dedham's Michelle Tesoro at 9:42 of the fourth overtime. I don't know how they counted the times in those days, but incredible hockey for all the overtime that was played. And there were times in regulation and in each of the overtimes that we thought it was going to be over, and the goaltending showed how great that was, that particular aspect of the game. We could talk for an hour on this game, but what a hockey game, and what a fitting conclusion to the 2 best teams in Division I.
Yeah, I mean, unequivocally the 2 best teams in Division I, and a game fitting of that.
And by the way, just a footnote, the 2 teams that were runners-up to these teams, the teams that these 2 teams beat in the semifinals, terrific programs, Malden Catholic and Archbishop Williams, who will be heard from. And that really the top 4 teams in Division I this year as the tournament played out, leading to these 2. And I interrupted you, but what a game, the 2 top teams.
It was great. Both goalies, it really started with the goalies, and chances on both ends. An amazing poke check at the end of the first overtime to keep it alive for Notre Dame. Eventually, they were able to St. Mary's was able to get the winner, but a really highly contested game. And, we were saying on the broadcast that it just felt like St. Mary's was going to get one because Notre Dame kept committing those penalties. 3 overtimes, 3 penalties. And we were just saying, man, if you give this St. Mary's team a chance, or too many chances with that freshman line, they're just going to take over. And sure enough, they got a power play winner.
And it wasn't, you could question penalties being called in overtime. They weren't dirty plays. They were just a result of St. Mary's making a good play and Notre Dame trying to not keep up, but trying to make a defensive play.
They drew the calls.
They did. A couple of hookings and a trip in particular. And then they did call one on St. Mary's, which was a legit, it was a cross-check, and it was a cross-check.
Yeah.
And they tried to call it fairly, and there was some grumbling after the game. We heard a little bit from a fan or two, but it's part of the game, and you got to call it like you see it. And 3-on-3 became 4-on-3 a couple of times. Notre Dame killed off a couple of those penalties.
They did
great
they
job.
did an amazing job on that. On the penalty killing, 4-on-3s. They did a really nice job killing everything off, but St. Mary's just too much in the end, which is odd because of the short bench.
Yeah, Notre Dame played more players during the game, and to that point, an 8th grader, Vanessa Hall for St. Mary's, never left the ice. Overtime 1, overtime 2, overtime 3. She
played
she
every
played
minute.
Every minute of
Every
overtime.
minute.
Terrific young hockey player.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So the teams are coming back on the ice here at the Garden for the third period of the D4 Boys Championship. We'll be back to report on that. Some other guys are going to shuffle in and out of the report desk here. Particularly Jake Levin is going to be joining you between his 2 games. It's a confused schedule. There are 6 games here today, but we want you to stay tuned on our YouTube channel because we'll be in and out throughout the day, keeping you up to date. Thanks for watching My Hockey Live's YouTube channel.